Good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I am your host, Slade Michaels II, and you are officially tuned in to the third episode of the morning show. That is right, we are now officially 3 episodes strong. And the fact that you still choose to spend your morning with me, well, that's just music to my ears. And on that note, see what I did there? The 63rd annual Grammy ceremony took place this past Sunday, hosted by none other than The Weeknd's long-lost cousin, The Weekday, also known as Trevor Noah, or Bruno Mars. I really can't tell at this point. But nevertheless, this was a wonderful night for women's representation in the music industry. Not only do we have Billie Eilish taking home Record of the Year, we also have Taylor Swift taking home Album of the Year. I wonder who this one is about. And also we have Beyonce taking the Best R&B Performance. And this is officially making her the most winning woman in Grammys history. And wow, oh wow. If there is a single thing on this earth that could make Kanye West smile at a time like this, that would be it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful show for you this week. Go ahead and stay tuned in to see what we've got next. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the morning show. I am your host, Slade Michaels II, and before we left off, we took a look at the Grammys and the Grammy winners, but let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit and hop into the world of sports. Today, I am joined by none other than the best hidden secret in college football, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Alex Galbraith, the Gridiron Expert. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Slade. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, it's a real pleasure to have you in the studio here. We have a wonderful array of questions, and I can't wait to go ahead and pick your brain on some of these things. But first, why don't you tell me a little bit about the Gridiron Expert, how you got started, where you're at today, and, just how that timeline started.
Yeah, so this is actually an operation that's been going on for about, I'd say 5 years now. We're coming up on 5 years. And it's really all started as a joke, which is the funny thing about it. I was very angry with the college football playoff rankings, was disappointed in them, and decided, you know what, I'm going to share my opinion and my thoughts and predictions with the world, and share it with the country on YouTube. And it took off very quickly. We got a pretty big audience rather quickly, and I didn't think I'd keep up with it, through high school, through college, but here we are. I'm definitely glad we did, because we've got a great audience now.
For sure, and taking off it really did. On YouTube, you have over 6,300 subscribers and over 1 million views collectively, which is just insane. How do you, where do you go from here? And on top of, all that, you have multiple radio appearances, and you've had interviews. You even have your own show, the Red Wolf Roundtable on ASU-TV. How do you balance all of this?
It's a challenge, It's definitely a challenge to balance it. I always say, I've got about 3 or 4 jobs at one time, and Gridiron Expert is certainly one of them. And but it's a challenge that I'm always happy to take on. It's something that if I didn't like it or if I didn't want to do it, I could drop it. You could drop this at any time, but I love what I do, but I also have this obligation now because we've got such a great audience and such a great following that I want to be there for them. I want to produce this content for them, and I love being able just to talk football with people from all over. We got people from Hawaii that are tuning in, Canada, Germany. We had a guy from China at one point hop in on the live stream. So, it's unreal, the people that we're actually communicating with on a daily basis. And so, yeah, while it is a challenge, I certainly wouldn't have it any other way because it's been a heck of a ride.
Absolutely correct, and I'm really glad to hear that. But also on the flip side of that question, of course, there also becomes the more business side of things. Not only do you want to provide the best content for your fans possible, but also the predictions. I'm sure that is a big part of the Gridiron Expert, and what people are there to see is your opinion on football and how games will play out. So what is that pressure like on you, and what are the kind of reactions you get on a regular basis, regarding your opinions?
We're pretty accurate. Our predictions are pretty good. We're straight up just saying who we think is going to win, a little over 76% on those, and that's one of the best marks in the country. Same goes with our against the spread records, which is where you start to deal with a little bit more intricate things because picking against the spread is a lot more difficult. And then you're dealing with money, too. A lot of people tend to bet on those. And that's our paid service. People come to us and, we, say, if you pay us, we're going to give you our best spread picks possible. And they are. We're beating out over 70% of the national analysts at ESPN and the guys in Las Vegas and CBS and all of that. So it's difficult and it is stressful because, I'm sitting here doing all this research, looking over the numbers, making sure I know injuries and stay up to date on things because I got to make sure that the best picks are going out to my people, regardless of what it is, what type of game it is. And with that, you get a lot of people that are very happy, and you got a lot of people that get upset, whether you're wrong or even if you just pick against their team. People are very petty about that. They think everybody believes their team's the best and that they're going to win the championship every year, and we all know that's just not going to happen. So it is fun to deal with the different people. Sometimes you have to block out the haters on occasion, but it's part of the job, so I love it.
Right. And, you seem to be, like you said, doing a really fantastic job of making these predictions. With over 10,000 games predicted, you maintain a 76% win rate at this moment, which is absolutely astounding. Like you said, that is ahead of, many analysts, that they can say for themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears a little bit here, but would you ever consider doing something different as far as, college football goes?
We've dabbled a little bit in different areas, with like the NCAA tournament for basketball. We sometimes touch on that. NFL, Super Bowl, stuff like that. But in terms of our full main focus, we've always just kind of focused on college football because that's certainly the one we love the most and are most knowledgeable about. So I've never really entertained the idea of almost creating a second channel or making a separate content during the off season for a different sport. I've never really considered that.
Well, let me tell you, you're here at the right place at the right time because I know you are no stranger to games. So I have a little bit of a game put together here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some ideas that you could potentially rebrand to or, add on to your collection, your portfolio of channels. So I'm just going to give you some ideas and then I want to have you rate them out of 5 stars.
Okay.
And tell me how good the idea is.
All right.
Okay. So we're going from Gridiron Expert, obviously college football.
Sure.
So what about in the baseball world? Could you ever see yourself going for something such as Dawn of the Diamond?
Dawn of the Diamond. So we're talking D-A-W-N? As in
No, D-O-N.
Oh, D-O-N.
Like the top Dawn of the Diamond.
Dawn of the Diamond. Interesting. Give that about a 3. I like that. It's creative, different.
Okay.
All right.
How about Emperor of the Ice?
Emperor of the Ice.
Obviously regarding anything ice sports, whether that's, hockey or
I think
whatever.
It has to be a 5 for me. That's fantastic.
I think
Emperor Penguins. I'm thinking of, ice, stuff like that.
I think that one has some real potential.
I like that one a lot.
And, let's, looking forward into the future of sports, how about Expert of Esports?
Expert of Esports. I know very, very little about esports, but sticking with the expert name, I think you got to keep that around a 3. Why not? Expert of esports.
All right. And last but not least, and also my personal favorite, let's say you just get tired of sports all around. The predictions are too much and you just want to start a cooking show. How about cast iron cooking?
Cast iron cooking. 4. Why not? I like the 4.
4. Okay. Very,
Look, I didn't give it a 1 or a 2. I think these are all very creative.
I think they do too. And honestly, I think that maybe this is something we should go in together on.
I'm more than happy to do business with you.
Of course.
Anytime.
But this is, just hypothetical, talk. But let's go back to the football for a minute. If you weren't to rebrand, if I'm not mistaken, there was a point whenever you had applied and even made calls to become the new head coach at the University of Arkansas. Is that correct?
That is true. The rumors are true. I did apply to become the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. I really believe that I can become a head coach just about anywhere. I don't think, especially at the University of Arkansas, during the time of Chad Morris, I could go on this forever and I won't. It was a complete dumpster fire, and I don't believe it's that difficult. I believe that it is a hard job. Recruiting is difficult. Strategy is difficult. Maintaining a team full of college kids is difficult. But in terms of instilling a culture and knowing what the Arkansas Razorback brand is about, knowing what it means to play college football at any respective school, I don't think that's very difficult to instill that. You could tell the effort just wasn't there. I tried my best, but unfortunately did not get my call back with the athletic director. But we're still trying. We're still trying.
Of course, with your success in college football, I do believe that, this is a position that, they should really consider hiring you for, because I really think that you know your stuff and you have, a long list of, accolades that go, to rep your back. Like, you really have it in the bag. So with that being said, I have one more question for you. If there's anything you could say to anybody who wanted to be in your position, who wants to take predictions, who wants to, analyze sports games, what would you have to say to those people?
I would say the biggest thing is, go do your job and don't worry about what other people are going to say, because you're always going to have people that are going to be upset with who you pick. They're going to disagree with you. They're not going to like you because you didn't pick their team, whatever it is. Block that out. If you're doing your research and you're doing your job the right way, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be right every time. You're not going to get every game right. No one can do that. But if you're loving what you do and you're doing it the right way, to me, that's all that matters. And the success will come in time.
Right, and I absolutely agree with what you have said there. And, I think that's an incredible thing, really. So to wrap things up, I want to go ahead and say that we also have another special interview this morning's show. Not only are we going to take a look at the Grammy winners and also the man, the myth, the legend, the Gridiron Expert, but we also have a funky little reptile, my man. I forgot his name.
Greg?
Greg.
Really? It's Greg?
Greg.
Greg the Chameleon.
Greg the Chameleon. He is the man, the myth, the legend. So let's go ahead and wrap up and head over to that interview with Greg the Chameleon.
Hey there everybody, my name's Tanner, and today I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. His name is Greg the Chameleon, and it's kind of hard for you to see because I'm a little zoomed out here, but here's Greg. He is not having a good time right now. He's kind of upset with me, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, he won't let go of either one of my hands. But I'm just going to talk to you about what Greg is and where you can find him. So Greg is about a year-old male veiled chameleon. And veiled chameleons are normally found in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, and parts of Yemen, in like arid, mountainy areas that you normally get a whole lot of rain, places like that. Yeah, these dudes like it warm. I really don't know what else to say about them. I mean, you can find them in the Everglades in Florida, but Greg's a cool little dude. I guess I could talk about, you see their little hands, how they look like hooks almost? That's just how they climb around. It's really cool looking, and it feels really weird when they grab you. They also have tails that are prehensile, so as you can see, he's kind of using his tail to wrap around me, and it helps him balance, especially when they like stretch out to catch prey. But yeah, he's not very happy right now. Most veiled chameleons are not very okay with being handled, and Greg's really not okay with it either. He's normally actually pretty bratty. I have to kind of chase him around the cage to get him out. And I don't normally do it just because I don't want to stress him out. But yeah, these guys are really cute, interesting little animals. They do stress out kind of easy, so like you got to be really careful with them, because if you stress them out too much, it could potentially cause health effects or kill them. Now, there are some species like panther chameleons that are, they're easier to handle. They don't care as much. But this guy right here is not too happy with it. I'm actually going to let him climb up in this plant for a minute. So here you guys go. And watch him climb up in that plant. I'm going to get behind the camera. Okay guys, now I am back behind the camera. So I let Greg climb up in this houseplant we have here. It's a very large pothos plant that we've been growing for a while. You can't really see him from here. Let me zoom in some. And let's look up and down. I don't see him there. Let's get it out a little bit. Where are you, Greg? You see how well they can just blend in with their surroundings? Now, You might have been told that chameleons change their color to blend in with the surroundings. That's not entirely true. They usually just change their colors to, it's based on their mood, whether they are excited or they're ticked off. It's not really so much to hide from predators, but now the reason why Greg blends in so well is because, I mean, veiled chameleons are green and they will get lighter shades of green or darker shades of green, and I think I actually spotted him. There he is right there. You see like the yellow spine here, and you can see his little head. It's called a casque, that big tall part. And yeah, you can see his tail, and you see how he's got it wrapped around back here. It's just crazy. So yeah, that's Greg. He's not too happy. I'm actually about to go feed him, so let's go see if we can get him eating some stuff, and I'll catch you in a minute. Alright guys, here we are. You can see Greg is in here just chilling, enjoying himself. I'm about to prepare his food, and then we will get some good shots of him eating so you can see what that looks like. Okay guys, I've got his little cup full of crickets here. I'm going to pour it into his feed cup. He might try and bite me. Okay, and now we will just wait and see if, if he's hungry. He is not happy with me being in here. Okay, I'm gonna back off and just see if he'll eat. Okay guys, I don't know why he's not eating today. He did get fed yesterday, so he might not be too hungry, and he might just be nervous with me in here, but normally it's not an issue. So I'm gonna throw up some old video I have of him eating, some slow motion, so you can see what that looks like and just look at that awesome tongue that these chameleons have. So I'm gonna throw it up.
What an incredible episode of the morning show this week. Not only did we take a look at the Grammys and the Grammy winners, we also interviewed the man, the myth, the legend, the gridiron expert, Alex Galbraith himself, and take a deep dive into the world of reptiles. Once again, I'm your host, Slade Michaels II, and I appreciate you spending your morning here with us at the morning show. So, stay classy, stay sunny, and stay tuned in for that next episode of the morning show. We'll see you then.